Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building.
That's right. Got to make sure the mic's plugged in today. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Want to continue the conversation on the Joe Thuney contract yesterday and how that could set up a couple of different interesting trades here for the Chicago Bears. Is it worth it to make a deal that you know is short-term gain while on this rookie contract? Let's have that conversation. Also, Caleb Williams ranks 24th on PFF's quarterback list coming into the season. Can't even say that's a wild ranking right now based off what we saw last season in certain games. Where does he need to rank by the end of the season for you to feel like, Ryan Poles knows what he's doing. He got this right for this young man. Going to talk about all that and more in today's episode of The Morning Breeze. The date is 5/21/2025. It's 7:02 in the morning. And ladies and gentlemen, F it. Go all in. Let's go! Go all in, Ryan. You've been all in on everything else this offseason. Don't stop it now. Hey. I just realized I have no glasses on. Blind as a bat, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at that. There we go. Vision is nice. Woo! Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. And yes, the APB is out, Nova, on Jordan JC. We have not seen him. There is a rumor out there that there have been a spree of 2 a.m. steak thefts on the west side of Chicago. And they have a sketch of Jordan JC that it looks a lot like him. It looks like we might have lost JC. We might have lost him to a life of crime. Crimson said, it's the Birds. They got my guy JC. No. Come on, JC. Fight back. Nah, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. Let's get into the conversation. Because yesterday I talked about on a video the hold on. I gotta see something. It says I can put y'all comments on the screen. Oh, look at that. There's gonna be so many bird jokes popping up on the screen. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool, actually. Keep the comments clean, boys. Keep the comments clean. The Joe Thuney contract with a $33.5 million fully guaranteed portion of that contract turns the contract's cap hit from a $16 million cap hit to a $8 million cap hit. I talked about all this yesterday on the Joe Thuney video, but what I do want to see the Chicago Bears possibly have happen here is how are they going to utilize that cap space? And of course, I talked about it yesterday in the sense of going out and getting Trey Hendrickson, in the sense of going out and going all in on this team. And I think that this does set up a deal for that. But I want to talk with you guys. If JC ever makes it in here, we'll talk with him as well. Is it worth it for the long term, for the short term gain to add a piece like a Trey Hendrickson or a piece like a Nick Chubb or a piece like a J.K. Dobbins. And I'm including all of these names in there because we don't know what this cap space could be used for. We don't know if this cap space could, be used as a piece to maneuver something as big as Trey Hendrickson or as a piece that just is to facilitate a smaller deal. But is it worth it to go all in while Caleb Williams is on this rookie deal? And for me, when I have this conversation, I say, why not? I say, why not? And here's my logic on this, because this is what everybody says. I had somebody in the comments say yesterday, Pat, this is what Ryan Pace did. This is Ryan Pace going out and adding Khalil Mack to the team. This is exactly how the Bears got in this position in the first place. And my response to that would be very, very different situation because of one position. Do you think Caleb Williams is that guy? Ryan Pace may not have been wrong if Mitch Trubisky's that guy. Oh, look who's here. Who's in the building?
Help! Help! He still got us in the oven! Help!
Preheated at 375.
What's going on there, JC? You all right? You could?
Sorry. Just had another meeting with the birds. Sorry.
Okay.
It's not going to happen anymore.
Little bird meeting. Little bird meeting.
It's a lot going on in the mornings. I apologize, everybody.
Are you rooting for the Knicks in this series? Is that what's happening here with the New York hat on the big Knicks guy all of a sudden?
Well, I'm a New York cap guy. I'm a cap guy.
I'm a New York cap guy.
I like the original New York cap. You got to have a New York cap every now and then.
All right. Shout
I'm
out
a collector of hats. Okay, I'm a collector. Shout
out to you, my guy. JC was smiling like he got cussed out by his wife. JC the Birdman returns. Birdman.
Oh my God.
I love this chat so much. No, but the point that I was making is this situation that Ryan Poles could be in to actually go all in, to me, is different than going out and getting a Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack was a heck of a lot younger, but it's different than going out and getting a Khalil Mack because in that situation, you were at this point where you literally were going, hey, we're ready to go all in. We got the quarterback. We got the wide receiver. We've got the running game. We've got the defense. Let's go all in. Do you believe that the Chicago Bears have the quarterback, especially on this rookie deal, to actually go out there and try and go all in? You can't sit here and feel like Caleb Williams is going to have a great season and say, we got to wait. JC, your thoughts?
Hey, call me Just Chicken at this point, right, JC?
Jive
what are you,
chicken,
AKA Birdshot? All right, I'll take that. Chicken choker? All right, whatever. You guys
that's different. Hold on now.
Whoa.
Yeah, you watch yourself.
But no, Trey, I said it before. Trey Hendrickson is a piece that you get because I think even compared to the time when we had, picked up or acquired Khalil Mack, I think this team is a little bit further along on both sides of the ball. I think previously when you got Khalil, you were established on defense. You had Akeem, you had, Eddie Jackson in his prime, Kyle Fuller. Like you had a bunch of guys that were really just monsters, and that defense was one to be reckoned with. But the offense was still questionable, and it didn't catch up with the defense. This time around, you look at this team, you look at both sides of the ball, it looks as if they're kind of building it equally. They're growing together equally. And so you go out and get a Trey Hendrickson now, despite his age, despite the things that maybe, he's going to be requesting a little bit more money than maybe you want to give him. I think it's still worth it. And now that they've kind of, as you mentioned before, I heard the Thuney video. Ryan Poles is a savant when it comes to, trying to maneuver the contract, and that's one thing that he's very, very good at. And so if this opens up an opportunity for them to go and get Hendrickson again, keep that door open. Let's walk right through that door, as you said.
Yeah.
And get him. I'm all for going all in right now and acquiring somebody of his talent.
And I think the difference is too, right? Like this is, again, looking at that season, because I feel like a lot of the comparison to why you shouldn't get Joe Thuney for a lot of Bears fans does go back to that Khalil Mack, because you went all in on Khalil Mack. You gave up 1 million picks. You put yourself in a bad position, and it had to work. It didn't work. The picks end up biting you in the butt, although they screwed every one of those picks up except Josh Jacobs. And then they let him go. They screwed every one of those picks up. It's kind of funny. But the conversation with that team is, one, I think you're in a situation where you're not giving up as much nearly for Trey Hendrickson, because they offered him $28 million and he was like, no, come better. You know what I mean? Like this is a situation of, I don't think he wants to be there. I don't think they want him to be there. They just two live in they a couple that then broke up, but they signed that lease already.
We might
you know what I mean? I ain't getting out. I guess we just put 2 bad mugs up in this piece.
You go in that room, I go in mine.
And I think that's really kind of where the Bears are at, or I'm sorry, where the Bengals are at right now with Trey Hendrickson. And so for me, I feel like the cost is not going to be nearly as much. He's older than Khalil Mack was at that point, but still very, very productive. And on top of that, the part that I think excites me about this the most was what screwed that Bears team over was not the fact that Khalil Mack just all of a sudden couldn't play football anymore. It was that, one, there was some injuries on that line that I think the Bears didn't know how to address, because 2, Vic Fangio got the heck up out of there and went and became a head coach. If Vic Fangio is there all 3 years of Khalil Mack in Chicago, I think you've got a situation where Khalil Mack is probably still here and that Bears defense has a bounce back season. Vic Fangio might still be here in that situation, right? And with reason I bring that up is Dennis Allen is a 2-time failed head coach. More than likely, if this thing hits, he's not going anywhere. And a defensive line of Jarrett, Hendrickson, Sweat, Gervon Dexter, Andrew Billings, throw Shamar Turner in the mix on that. I'm going to throw Austin Booker in there just off of hope.
Dangbo.
The big Dio Dangbo. Dale. Dangbo. Daylight come, but me no wanna go.
Yeah, you haven't done that in a minute. I like it. Oh, that's what you did.
Do that version. Daylight come, but me no wanna go home.
I love it.
No,
you know what?
Me said that. Sorry, I got too far. I went too far. That's what me. It's my bad.
You mentioned something too, really that hit home for me yesterday. You talked about, man, making a move like this can set us up to have a boring off season the next year, where if you were to get a Trey Hendrickson, maybe you package whatever draft capital you need for the future, instead of having all of these exciting off seasons. We talking about every off season, we're the champions. Whoa, yay! Well, let's be regular season champions. Let's win the regular season.
Starts and
when I came down.
like yeah, it's like, okay, comparably.
We did it.
Oh, shoot. like yeah, come on. Like, I want to have a boring offseason. I want to get to the draft and be like, oh yeah, we don't have a first round pick. All right, well, whatever. Let's just wait till the season starts. All right, whatever. Let's wait till free agency.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, yes, I want us to be set up for success. What does we kid always say? Dang them picks. Like let's not always invest in the future. Let's invest in now. And that's what I want to do, is invest in now.
Shout out to Dennis, the Chicago kid. He said Trey makes Sweat look like a $25 million edge, helps develop Dio, similar to Thuney, Allen familiarity. can't have a roster like this when you pay a QB. And that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to pay Caleb. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
all of these contracts set up to end at the perfect time when you actually have to pay Caleb. So it's not like I'm telling you sign Trey Hendrickson to a $250 million 5-year deal.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, find a way to make this contract work because you just had a savant go out there and sign an all-pro guard to basically an $8 million contract.
Yeah, I heard you mention some of the names that have more money than him. I was like, oh.
That's based off the average year over year. He's the 11th highest paid. He's making
11th?
the same amount of money as Jonah Jackson.
And that's crazy.
He's making the same amount of money as Jonah Jackson.
That
I mean, you're talking about a bunch of guys that are above Joe Thuney. I love the way that Ryan Poles structured this deal. I think that it really is beneficial to the Bears with how Ryan Poles went out and structured this deal. And I think the big thing for this team now, moving forward, is how all in are you going to be with Caleb? Now, I want to say this as well. With Caleb Williams on his rookie deal, how all in are you going to be? You're pretty all in right now.
Yeah.
You're pretty all in right now. It's not like you're going into next offseason going, woo, look at that cap space, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You feel better about it because you did maneuver some things and open some pieces up and create an opportunity to have a little bit of extra money going into next season. But you're not sitting here going, oh, we balling out next year. Big money, Benny.
Big money, Benny.
You know what I mean? You're just not. And so if that is the case, in my mind, and I think what makes it tough is a lot of people realize you have to give things up for Trey Hendrickson, and you don't want to. You don't want to move on from the pieces that may be post June 1 cuts. You don't want to move on from the possibility of Cole Kmet being a trade candidate. And he doesn't have to be a trade candidate to the Bengals for you to open up that $10 million, guys. There's teams in the NFL that need tight ends that would love to have Cole Kmet. So you may even be able to get a draft pick back, open up the cap space, and go out there and add Trey Hendrickson. Like it's not a blanket like Madden trade where it's like, I got to trade Cole Kmet and this, but no matter what, to me, it's like, are you getting the best piece? Are you getting the better piece?
Are you willing to take that sacrifice? That's my thing is, even if you were to give up someone, obviously, that we love as a name here on the Bears, that is near and dear to the hearts of a lot of Chicago's Bears fans, that being, a Cole Kmet, or, we mentioned Jaquan's name before as well in trade talks. Like, are you willing to do that because the sacrifice, or rather the return outweighs the sacrifice? And quite frankly, the answer is yes. A talent like this who's been at the top of the league in a certain category that you should care about, that should outweigh the production of a tight end that eventually will get replaced by a new tight end that you just got. And so that's why you say, okay, well, we can deal with this sacrifice. We can deal with letting go Cole Kmet because we're getting actually better in value. And so there's a lot to weigh with this. But I mean, at the end of the day, in my mind, don't overthink. These are one of those decisions. In my mind, don't overthink. I understand the age may frighten people. Maybe that's the only thing that it is.
I mean,
pause.
The odds of somebody panning out on a third contract are not great.
Yeah, sure.
Usually the third contract is the one that guys don't live up to. But also, Trey Hendrickson ain't another guy. Trey Hendrickson has had 35 sacks in 2 seasons.
Do you expect him to go all the way down to what, 6 or something? Like, come on. With this line, with the help that he has, he's going to be going one-on-one if he comes here a lot.
And I think that's the thing to me too, is right. Like the regression for me isn't from 17 to 4. If that happened.
Then we
no, I wouldn't have made it. We'll be on the other side of the trade. Like, told y'all I shouldn't have made that deal.
I never said I wanted him.
No, I think the thing for me with that conversation though is that right? Like if he has normal regression from Trey, is that still a 10-sack season? Does that mean that all of a sudden with a 10-sack season or a 12-sack season, you could forget about him?
Mm.
Because you still got Grady Jarrett in the middle. And if it adds 1 to 2 sacks to Grady Jarrett's total at the end of the year, it's worth it. If it adds 1 to 2 sacks to, well, you need 2 to 3 sacks to Montez Sweat at the end of the career, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my thing with it as well. It's not just, well, you're bringing Trey Hendrickson here to be the Trey Hendrickson that he was in Cincinnati. No, I'm bringing Trey Hendrickson here to be a part of a good defensive line for once in his life. Since New Orleans, I should say. He was part of a good defensive line in New Orleans.
With Dennis, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was with Dennis Allen. I saw some people also like, well, how does he fit with Dennis Allen? I was like, Dennis Allen drafted him.
Yeah.
Literally Dennis Allen's guy.
With the Saints, yep. Mm-hmm.
But let us know how you guys feel, man. Is it worth it for the Bears to be all in at this point? Do you think that it's worth it to take the gamble in the short term while Caleb Williams is on this rookie deal? And let's keep this conversation moving along, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. We want to talk about Caleb Williams ranking 24th on PFF's list coming into the season. And where does he need to rank by the end of the season for you to feel good about how this season went? We'll talk about all that and more coming up next. But first, gotta listen into a little Aura commercial. JC, get him out of here. Oh God. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have 1 or 2 of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Dexter Boykin.
They're already heated up. They're already cooked and done.
Why? Tweet. Why?
Poor birds. Never stood a chance.
You never heard from them again, have you? That's right.
Definitely have not heard from the birds again. We're joking about this, but we have no answers on what JC did to those birds. Hey, man, we just talked about how a Trey Hendrickson trade being possible could be beneficial to the Bears and why we shouldn't look at it like the Khalil Mack deal. Now we got to talk about where PFF is ranking Justin Fields. And I don't even think that it's a poor ranking where he's at right now. But how high does he have to climb? How high does he have to climb to feel good about it? Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I also like how PFF always breaks these down. So there's a few different tiers. So tier 1 is elite. Tier 2 is high-end starter. Tier 3 is solid starters who have flashed high-end play. Tier 3B, they're getting cheesy on that one. I don't like that one. Solid starters, but they need more help. I don't know if I agree with the need more help on some of those names either. Tier 4, young players with a wide range of potential outcomes. And then year 5 is veterans capable of solid play, but could quickly be replaced. And then they do have year 6 as low-end starter. There's only a couple of names on there. One young rookie getting disrespected on that mug. But the elites, right? I think the elites we know. Number 1, Pat Mahomes. Number 2, Joe Burrow. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Number 4, Josh Allen. Top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL, right? Nobody's questioning that one.
Yeah, that sounds about
high-end
right.
starters, tier 2. That's where this begins. 5 is Jalen Hurts. 6 is Jaden Daniels. Already top 10 QB in the NFL. 7, Matthew Stafford. 8, Justin Herbert. Yeah, okay. I would put I'd put Herbert at tier 3A if I was solid starter who have flashed high-end play. But okay, I'm willing to allow it. Jared Goff is 9, Geno Smith 10, Brock Purdy 11. Geno Smith has flashed some high-end play. He's also flashed some low-end play, but he's flashed some high-end play.
Jared Goff is under Jaden Daniels? All right, whatever.
I'm not really tripping on that. Tier 3, he beat Jared Goff last year.
I mean, he beat the Lions. He beat a depleted team during the season. Jared was cooking doing anyway. Whatever.
Yeah, all right. You're right. Tier 3B, solid starters, but they need more help. 12, Jordan Love. 13, Baker Mayfield, which I don't know if I agree on Baker needing more help, but all right.
Yeah,
14, CJ Stroud. He needs some help. 15, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Kyler kind of got some help last year, but all right.
Trey McBride, you got the number 1 wide receiver.
Hey, did you see MHJ now?
No. What is
MHJ is massive.
He said, "Oh, you all gonna talk about me next year."
Very jacked. Like
all the receivers got jacked this year off season, apparently.
I don't know what happened to him or what protein he was eating, but MHJ was small. Like we remember what he looked like.
Yeah, he was lean.
Bro, hold on. Where's this young man?
You saw I haven't seen a picture of him recently.
You got to go through too goddamn much with this. Just share the screen. I'm sick of it. I should have just kept going.
There we go.
Committed to the bit.
We've committed to the MHJ.
Look at this mug, dog.
Wow. Wow.
Bro,
okay.
He is massive, bro.
Okay. All right.
I was confused.
That's
Like when I saw him, he's like, they were asking him about it. They were like, so you been in the gym? Yeah, a little protein.
Cool. Right after the season ended, apparently. Jesus. No time off.
15, Kyler Murray. 16, Trevor Lawrence, which I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is the one that needs the help. I think they need the help.
Lawrence.
17, Dak Prescott. 18, Tua Tagovailoa. Still not a Caleb Williams, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. All right.
Tier 4, young players with a wide range of outcome. Bo Nix, 19. Bryce Young is 20. JJ McCarthy, 21. Drake May, 22. Michael Penix, 23.
Whoa.
Caleb Williams, 24.
Whoa. Whoa. Michael Penix?
Michael Penix
is above
23.
Caleb Williams.
He was pretty good in this short time. I mean, we got to see a lot more of Caleb Williams. Michael
Penix
was
short. He worked short time.
Wow. What Penix play last year? 10 games?
My God. I know Kirk went down, but really? If we're talking overall stats.
What happened to Kirk?
When I came down. Yeah, that was a bad contract. That ended up being bad. Man,
I tried to hype it up. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is kind of crazy. Michael Penix last season in 5 games, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 775 yards, 58% completion percentage.
That little of a production, and you put him above. That is disrespectful. Let's get into it.
Here's what I will say. I don't know if I agree with all of the names that are above Caleb in that, including the Bryce Young and the JJ McCarthy who didn't play a snap. But what I will say is, when I looked at last season, Caleb was probably in the range of 24th to 20th best quarterback in the NFL. He was not what we expected, right? It did not pan out how we expected. We know the circumstances, we know the reasons why, but it did not pan out how we expected. My question mark to you is, of those names on the list that you feel should be ahead of him, what tier does Caleb need to be in by the end of that? Does he need to be in high-end starter, which is kind of that 5 through 8 section? Does he need to be a solid starter who's flashed high-end play, which is that tier 3A that would be inside of the top 12? Solid starter, but needs more help. He better not be that with what we saw this offseason. You know what I mean? Like, where do you feel like Caleb Williams needs to be ranked by the end of next season to feel like this season was a success?
What was that second one? High-end starter?
The second one was a high-end starter, tier 2, high-end starter. That was 5 through 8. Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert.
Okay, so the next one after that, where he's a high-end starter and he's flashing. You said flashing.
A solid starter who's flashed high-end play. So 9 through 11. So that's right now Jared Goff, Geno Smith, Brock Purdy. What a wide range.
Honestly, I mean, I feel like he has. If we're talking about talent, his talent is top 10 already. His skill level is top 10. It's undeniable. But if we're talking about where he needs to be and get to by the end of this season with this type of schedule, with the challenges ahead of them, if he can get to that third tier, that would be a huge win, in my opinion, where he's flashing greatness every now and then. And hopefully in some of the games that will matter, and that he becomes, like I said, the franchise quarterback. He becomes that solid starter that we know is going to be QB1 for the foreseeable future. Again, I got him right now. I understand what is the category is young players with a wide range of potential outcomes. That makes sense. Yes, he has obviously the potential to be a top 5 quarterback one day. Or he could be very successful and has all the talent in the world and not tap into that talent, and it becomes unrealized. My thing is, I would like for a little bit more respect to be put on his name. 24th is a little too low in my opinion, especially with some of the names right above him. I feel like that's just a little disrespectful, because if we're going off
McCarthy is nuts. He ain't played a snap.
Well, Michael Penix is nuts.
Bryce Young,
Bryce Young, as much as I know he had a really good end to his season, statistically, Caleb Williams, in my opinion, had a better overall season as a rookie. And if we're talking about, because in the article it talks about a combination of recent performance and career trajectory, we're not putting Caleb over that.
Yeah.
And so some of the things I have a little issue with. Now, I am interested in what there's a comment from John Costco at Pro Football Focus where he mentions the talent is undeniable, but his NFL success will hinge on learning to find open targets and avoiding the habit of running himself into pressure. That I do agree with. Obviously, he needs to learn how to get the ball out quicker and just get easy completions, easy first downs or easy passes, and not try to go for the long ball, not hold on to the ball where he's trying to look past the easy pass and go for chunk yards. Like that's where I think his biggest step is going to be taken when it comes to you trying to see him play hero ball versus just being, that competent quarterback that just moves down the field, and the likes of a Jared Goff, the likes of a Matt Stafford, where they know, okay, get this ball out, get this ball out, get this ball out. So, that's the difference.
You know what I think is going to be big for him, though? Your hits have to be hits. That to me, to move Caleb Williams up this list, your hits have to be hits. Because I'll point to you a bunch of quarterbacks that are high on the sack list right now. Although one of them got their numbers way down. But your top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL are Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Those are guys that take sacks. Now, Lamar Jackson got his sack number way down, but historically, Lamar Jackson has been that guy, like you said, that runs himself into sacks. And you can be that guy and be elite, but your hits have to be hits. Joe Burrow's top sack quarterback every year, but when Jamar Chase is down that field, boom, I know Jamar gonna be there. It's not overthrown. It's not off to the right. Jamar ain't making a crazy catch. He's not trying to dive for it over the middle. Boop. Touchdown. Your hits have to be hits for Caleb Williams to find a way to move up that list. You can't be you can be a quarterback that runs Joe Burrow really don't run himself into sacks. The sacks kind of just run into him. But Pat Mahomes runs himself into sacks all the time. Every year. Spins out trying to figure it out. I don't know. Let me come back over here. Travis, find somebody open. Oh, God. Where's Taylor Swift? What's she doing up there? Here we go. Boom. Like that's the part of this where it's like, I get the conversation around it. First off, get the sack numbers much lower. Right? The goal is but Pat Mahomes was sacked, I believe, 38 times last season. So to me, it's not don't run yourself into set. We got you because we want to see you make the extend the plays. We got you because we want to see you do that little scamper and then do a little jump, skip, and a hop that he always ended up doing. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yep.
And then you make a big throw down the field. But when the easy hits are there, you gotta have the hits.
Yeah.
You never go broke making deposits.
I like that.
And I think that's what Ben Johnson's system is really going to accentuate with Caleb Williams this season. For me, this may be lofty, but because because Justin Herbert is on that list, y'all know how I feel about Justin Herbert.
What was he mentioned? Eighth?
About Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's the 8th, which I can't hate. I mean, look, he's got great numbers for a regular season quarterback. I just think he's a regular season quarterback.
He's not clutch.
Yeah, I don't need you in the playoffs. If they could put a better quarterback in the playoffs, that'd be great.
That's funny.
But to me, if you want to go with that top 8 range, it may feel a little bit high, but you get to that range literally by just going, boom, I got DJ Moore open in the slot. I need to make that pass on time, on target. I got Luther Burden open in the slot. I got Roma Dunze right here. I need to make that pass on time, on target. You add the small flash plays in there, and now all of a sudden he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Now you are having that conversation about him being up there with the Jaden Daniels, with the Jalen Hurts, with the Matthew Staffords, with the Justin Herberts.
Yeah. I agree with that.
You got to make the deposits easier on yourself. And what we didn't see last year was him do that with Cole Kmet, whether that's on him, whether that's on Shane Waldron for scheming Cole out of the offense or whatever it was. But we didn't see that happen. And there's a lot of plays where Cole is wide open.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think that is a huge one of the hugest reasons why he could make that jump. But another one that you mentioned, the head coach's name, Ben Johnson. Obviously, we have a different coaching staff from the one that he had in his rookie season, and that's one of the reasons why he kind of fell short of expectations last year. Was partially due to that. Some was on him as well. We're not going to blame, as much as I would love to blame Waldron for everything and blame Eberflus for everything. You can't blame them for every single problem that Caleb brought about. Caleb brought about his own issues as well, sometimes trying to hold on to the ball too long. But this year you have the backing of a really competent coaching staff. You hope, right? Like you mentioned before, Dennis Allen has experience as a head coach. You have the Al Harris's. You have Ben Johnson, you have Randall L., you have Dan Richard. You got all of these epic names. And so that in itself should also propel Caleb Williams to having a higher ranking. Now, I love where you have him. If he can get in that Jaden Daniels range, I would love it. If you want to get meaty, let's get meaty. Let's go top 5 then.
Let's calm down, man.
We get Trey Hendrickson.
This is a steak right now. This is a little fried up bird right now.
He's in the pigeon range.
Yeah, he's in. It's still a delectable meal, but that's not as high as you got.
What is that? What is the ranking? So instead of young players with a wide range of potential outcomes, it would be the pigeon range.
A little fried pigeon.
A little fried pigeon. We're trying to get up to the eloquent bird, the eloquent meat. Okay, I got
duck sauce on that.
All right. I get it.
I'll tell you what. The one thing that I do like is right when you talk about passing yards for the season.
Yeah,
and the odds on them. It does seem like the betting odds are that Caleb Williams is going to be a pretty good quarterback this season. Right now, Caleb Williams coming in, and the odds are the over-under on his yards per game or yards per season here, 35.50 for Caleb Williams. And I know some people may look at that and be like, oh, my God, it's so low. Why are they disrespecting my quarterback? Joe Burrow is 4,100. Now, we know Joe Burrow can go off of like 4,800, but Joe Burrow's line is set at 4,100. The MVP of the league last year, his odds of passing yards right now, or his over-under on passing yards is set at about 3,700.
Okay.
You've seen 37.50 on some, 36.50 on other sites. I say all that to say Vegas is telling you that they believe that Caleb Williams is going to have a pretty good year. That 35.50, I think, is a good range for Caleb Williams to be in. I get it. We want a 4,000 yard passer. That's the big conversation right now. Dog, I don't care. Win. You could get 35.51. Win. We're so worried about the 4,000 yard pass, and I get it because it shouldn't be a difficult thing to obtain. But if Caleb hits for 35.50 and we got 11 wins, that's a good year. And we got our quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts didn't throw for 3,000 yards last season. He won the Super Bowl. I say all that. I didn't even ask the question. Do you feel like that number is disrespectful, 35.50?
Well, I mean, if you're just looking solely at his rookie season, all of the chaos and everything that he had going on around him, and yet he still ended up with 35.41. I mean, that's 9 yards away from the projection that they got. So, yeah. In my opinion, I know if you're just looking at the number, you're saying, "Oh, that might sound disrespectful," because you expect him to just blow that out the water.
We've seen 35.
It sounds mid, right?
It sounds mediocre.
It sounds a little too low, right, compared to the other quarterbacks. Because Joe Burrow went way over 4,100 last year.
Yeah.
But my thing is, if you're comparing that as the average or the base of what you think he'll do, sure, I will take that, because again, the most important stat is not the yards. It's what's the win-loss column look like? That I'm right there with you. If he throws for 4,000 yards and still only wins 6 or 7 games, does that excite you? No, it doesn't excite me. And if they keep winning, if they keep losing games in exciting fashion, putting up 40 points, but they give up 42. Does that do anything for you? No. Yeah. A loss is a loss is a loss. And so for me, I feel like, yes, of course you want to see the numbers, but you want to see the wins along with the numbers. And so I think that's a fair range to say 35.50 as what you project him to get. And you hope that he does more, but at the end of the day, you hope that it just comes along with a lot of wins.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing, It's about how you run the offense. It's about how you get your plays. And listen, the 4,000 yards should be attainable. I think that is a goal for Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson has brought up the 4,000 yards more than anybody.
Yeah.
I think that is a goal for Ben Johnson. I think that is something that he wants to. Hey, I brought the first 4,000-yard passer to Chicago. I brought the first winning scenario since Ditka to Chicago, right? Like I brought it. Like you want to bring all of these things in, but at the end of the day, it's about bringing in wins.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you make off seasons boring? You win in the regular season. You go out, you say, okay, we may need a couple of pieces here. We may need this here, a couple of tweaks here, but we don't need to just go out there and blow this entire thing up. We've had a completely new team for 3 years, just about. New regime, new quarterback, new wide receivers added, new, like all of these pieces being added in and out, in and out, in and out, because you're getting rid of half of the team. We've had 3 different offensive lines in 3 years. Let's get some stability here.
Consistency is the name of the game.
Consistency, a little bit of stability, and see what that actually does for a quarterback moving forward. For me, the 3550 is not disrespectful on Caleb Williams' name at all. Somebody said, I hear tweets. And Tony Tsunami said, I hear tweets of the birds fighting it back.
You got that window closed. I don't know how loud you're trying to yell at this point. By the way, no birds were harmed in the last couple of days. I haven't cooked any birds. All right, I just had a conversation to shut them up.
I don't believe it. Think those birds are dead. You murderer. Oh, all right.
Birderer.
Birderer.
That's all. That's top tier.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Let us know how you guys feel down in the comments below. Do you feel like the odds on Caleb Williams yards are a little bit disrespectful, or do you feel like they're probably in the right range for Caleb Williams? Let me know how you guys feel on the Trey Hendrickson conversation, and of course on the PFF quarterback ranking. He's below JJ McCarthy.
Come on.
He hasn't even played yet. Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show and Love as always. I'm heading up the OTAs, so I gotta run. A little OTA action.
All right, let us know how Cal Manung guy looks.
Yeah, you know I'm a big Manung guy. I'm gonna be tapping into a little Manung guy.
The best show for Chicago sports.
We're gonna get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Goodbye.
Jesus. Hold on. Yes, they say about the Chicago. But Mr. Medium, I'm Jordan JC. Your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Jesus.
Yeah, what a way to end it.
Peace. I got nothing.
Throw the flag.
Throw in the dang towel.
Throw the towel, dang it.
That was insane.
Oh, boy.
I like the little chat feature on the side. Isn't that bad? It's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw that. That's nice.
Yeah, it's
very,
very
nice.
Every time I'm ready to cancel StreamYard, they bring me back.
Oh, yeah, they entice you.
There's King Book World.
Dang it, Pat.